Okay, let us start then. Om Tvam Hina Pitavaso
ॐ त्वं हि न
हीनपितावसो
Tvam Mata Shatakrato Babhuvitha
त्वं माता
माता
शतक्रतो
शतक्रतो
बभूविथ
बभूविता
Atha Te Sumnamimahe
अधा ते
अथापि
सुम्नमीमहे
नमीमहे
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
ॐ शान्ति
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 शान्तिः
Okay, are there any questions from last time? Okay, so I don't know if you got a chance to look at Yama and Yamas. So I have added these sutras from Yoga Darshanam in the Shanti Part file itself. So I'll just go over this quickly. Uh, in Yoga Darshan, it says that Yama Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. These are the 8 angas of uh, yoga. Okay, so Yama, Niyama, Yama is mental control, Niyama is daily practices, Asan is sitting in a meditative pose, Pranayam is controlling your breathing, making it ready for dhyana. Pratyahar is taking your senses inwards, and dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. These are parts of meditation in which you increase your focus steadily from dharana towards samadhi. By the time you reach the end of samadhi, uh, your mind is completely, you can blank out your mind and see yourself. And when you are able to do that at all times, that is called dharma meg samadhi. At this point here in this samadhi, it is talking of only when you sit in the meditative pose and you close your eyes and close all your senses and so take position. But in dharma mega samadhi, the yogi walks and talks like a normal person, but is actually always aware of the fact that the soul is different and the body is different. Okay, so then in Yama you have Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Ahimsa and Satya, I think I don't need to tell you. Asteya is non-covetousness, not wanting any thing of somebody else's, not envying anybody. Then Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya also, you know. Aparigraha. Aparigraha is not consuming more than you need. So whatever you need, it's okay, you consume, but anything else, so you reduce your possessions, you reduce your eating, etc. All kinds of things for your senses, you reduce the consumption. That is, these are yamas, 5 yamas. Then there are also 5 niyamas. That is shauch, that is physical hygiene, take a bath every day. Then santosh, that is satisfaction, remaining happy and content. Tapaha is, as we have seen, having equanimity in times of trouble as well as in happiness. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is, of course, self study, but self study centered on uh, moksha paragranthas, the granthas which lead us, the books that lead us towards moksha. Ishvara pranidhana is laying everything at the feet of God. So after you have performed your karmas, after you have done your swadhyaya, etc., then you lay everything at the feet of God and say, God, I am doing this so that I can reach you. So this is called Ishwar Pranidhana. So these are the ones. So then if you look at when I was telling you that similar thing, Angira has also told us when he tells us, no, in the previous verse where I had told you, these are part of uh, Yoga Darshan itself. Satyena labhyas tapasa hyesh atma samyak jnanena brahmacharyena nityam. So Satya comes here, and tapa comes here. This is tapa. Then samyak jnana, that is part of Satya. So samyak jnana is as actually swadhyaya. You can take it as swadhyaya, and brahmacharya is part of yama. So these are Angira is giving some of the things Patanjali has given in great detail in Yoga Darshan. Okay, today we will in fact see one more here. This third sutra we will do at a later point. Okay, so now let us start the Dvitiya Khand of the Tritiya Mundak. This is now the last khanda, so we are reaching close to God. So today, shall we do some singing instead of chanting only? Savedatat paramam brahma dhama
सवेदैतत् परमं ब्रह्मधाम
yatra vishwam nihitam bhati shubhram
यत्र विश्वं निहितं भाति विश्वम्
upasate purusham ye ह्यकामास्
उपासते पुरुषं ये ह्यकामात्
ते शुक्रमेतदतिवर्तन्ति धीराः
तेषु क्रमेतदतिवर्धन्ति धीराः.
So now this says that Saveda etat paramam brahma dhama yatra vishwam nihitam bhati shubram. He knows that ultimate Brahma dhama, abode of Brahma, where this whole world seems to uh, be situated in a very pure form, Shubra. Upasate Purusham Yehi Akamaha. So this gives, while the sir, that is he, was not explained in the first part of the sentence, the second part now, even though it moves to plural, it is talking of that same kind of person. So he says, those who are without any desire. Gauri, can you? So those who are without any desire and they worship that Purusha. Purusha means Paramatma. Te shukram ati vartanti dhiraha. Etad ati vartanti dhiraha. So those dhira, those steadfast seekers, they go beyond this shukra. Shukra means over here semen, the male progenitor. So uh, that means that represents the body. So this physical body, they are able to go beyond that. That is achieve moksha. Okay, so in the last two verses which we did last time, we saw about how the yogi still had desires. Okay, and we were wondering why desires have been mentioned for a yogi. So now I hope you are sufficiently clear that this is for the early yogi, the one who has just seen the soul and has not reached the ultimate end. So now we are moving into deeper waters where the yogi now starts seeing God, uh, starts getting a glimpse of God. So that time it was a glimpse of the soul. Now you are beginning to approach God. So that kind of a person who is without desires, he sees that Brahmadham. So this whole world he finds situated inside this Brahma. Can you visualize what kind of a feeling it must be to see this whole world and situated within God? So he starts seeing that this is that same Vishwarupa which you people would have heard of in Gita. So something similar is being told here as well. Yatra Vishwam Nihitam Bhati Shubram. Everything is situated inside him and is so pure. So so the requirement here is that this person is seeking God, upasate purusham, and he is a kamaha without desires. So the worldly connection is being cut, and the connection to God is being strengthened. So once you have seen God, then you go beyond the body and you achieve moksha, because the body is your ultimate connection with the world. And once you have broken all connections with the world, that includes the desires of the body, and so you achieve God. Okay. Any questions here?
Line. ते शुक्रम् एतत् इति वर्तन्ति
अतिवर्त
धीराः
Ati vartanti. Ati vartanti.
Oh, अतिवर्तन्ति.
Yeah.
What is the meaning for that?
Shukra is your Virya. So that is representing the body. So this it goes beyond the body. Those dhiras who are akamaha and who do upasana of the purush, they sit in meditation of the Lord. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. Kaman yah kamayate. Sorry, I have to sing. कामान् यः कामायते मन्यमानः
कामान्
यः
यः
कामयते
कामयते
मन्यमानः
मन्यमानः
स कामभिर्जायते तत्र तत्र
स
स
कामभिर्जायते
कामभिर्जायते
यत्र
तत्र
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 पर्याप्तकामस्य कृतात्मनस्त्विह
पर्याप्तकामस्य
पर्याप्तकामस्य
कृतात्मनस्त्विह
कृतात्मनस्तवीह
एव सर्वे प्रविलीयन्ति कामाः
एव
एव
सर्वे प्रविलीयन्ति
प्रविशन्ति
कामाः.
कामाः.
So now Angira makes it 100% clear what was there in the previous two shlokas, where he had talked about kama being there, and those who become without any desire. So he says that kaman yah kamayate manyamana. Those who desires. Okay, kaman kamayate. Those who desires, thinking of them all the time. Manyamana. They are always thinking of what they want next. Saha kama bhir jayate tatra tatra. They, according to their desires, they go there and there. Wherever their desires were, they go in those places. I will explain a little bit more about that. Then paryapta kamasya kritatmanah tu ihava sarve praviliyanti kamaha. And those who reduce their desires, paryapta kama. So that word literally means those who have achieved all their kamas. But till you have seen God, you have not achieved full removal of kamas. So it really means that those who have reduced their desires, who have done virakti to the extent that their desires are down to minimum, and krita atmanaha, those who have refined their souls so that now they have become pure. They, for them, on seeing that Dhama, which was mentioned in the previous verse, all their kamas, they disappear. So whatever little remnant of desire is remaining in their minds, and you can say in their soul, that is also lost once they have seen this Dhama. So what is this first part? Tatra Tatra. So Manusmriti actually tells us in one of the shlokas that uh, whatever one becomes good at in this janma, the next birth is dependent on that to some extent. Okay, so your karmas are anyway there, but according to your liking or disliking, there are some things which you um desire more. So he has said that those who perform a lot of brutality, they are born as hinsra, um, jantu. That is very, carnivorous animals. Very those animals which eat other beings and kill them, and like lion, tiger, and all that. So, and those, for example, who talk a lot, they are reborn as birds, because birds, they chirp a lot, and many times without any meaning. So, similarly, people who talk too much without any meaning, they may take birth as a bird next time. So, like that, he has given some examples. And something similar he is telling you over here, that according to the desires which you harbor at this time, the implication here is that when you hold a desire, then you work towards it, and so you become an expert in fulfilling that desire, and therefore your next birth is also now framed by that desire, and you will be born where you will get more chances to fulfill that desire, which can be a downward slope if you do not reduce it. So, if you are born as a human being, that is the only time actually that you can control your desires. As an animal, you will not see any animal performing any kind of yam or niyam, right? There is no self control in an animal. An animal, it behaves based on instinct. So, that is why I always say that it is like a jail term. So, you have now been given so many years of jail in that body. There is nothing you can do. You can just be there and live your life as is. Then when you come back to a human birth, that is when you start influencing your own destiny, and that is why this human birth is so important, and we have to make sure that we move towards devatva rather than towards diryatva. Okay. Then paryapta kamasya kritatmanah. So this paryapta kama, as I'm telling you, even though the commentators have sometimes said differently, but the it does not mean fulfillment of all desires. Otherwise there would be no desire left to become to dissolve at the end. Praviliyanti kamaha. If all the kamas are already gone, then what is going to disappear in the last sentence? So this always remember that till the yogi actually becomes gets into this dharma mega samadhi, till that point some small desires will remain, because you are connected with your body still, right, to some extent, and that body has a pull. It instills some desires in you, and those desires will stay till your finally your last connection with the body is lost. That last connection being the connection with the buddhi, not with the not death at this point, but when you are finally able to overcome your attachment, your that synapse with the buddhi, you overcome it, and you are always aware of your separate existence. That is when all your desires will be lost once and for all, and that is when you will really start doing nishkam karma. Till that time all karma will have some karma associated with it. Okay. We'll move to
Ma'am,
the
I
next
have
one.
a question.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, in Yog Darshan and Sankhya Darshan, there is a concept of Dagd Bij of Sanskar, uh, Klesh, basically. So
So
here
that
it
is
is
not Patanjali's,
desires.
that is Vyas's. Huh?
Ah,
Patanjali
it
has
is
never
that.
said Dagda Bij, Sanskar.
Okay.
In fact, Patanjali has mentioned, if you go into the fourth chapter, he says that till you achieve that dharma make samadhi, even through the chinks of your dhyana, the sanskars can come back, and you have to make sure that you oppose them. And the way of opposing, he has said, is what I have told you earlier, that is through dhyan, dharana, samadhi, etc., etc., the many steps which he has mentioned. So he says very clearly that till the last, there will be chinks in your armor through which the sanskaras, the small number of sanskaras will be left, and they can come back. And if you are not watchful, you're not careful, they can take over your mind again and
So
make you
my
bad.
question is, there the concept we are talking about sanskar here, Angira Rishi is talking about calm, basically desires. So are these technically same thing, or they are different aspect of the same coin? Like one is the sanskar of the my past, basically my past actions, which keeps me giving birth again and again to the newer life and new yonis. And here it is coined in a different way, which says that my desires give me birth. So
So you must read my book, upcoming book on Yoga Darshan. But anyway, sanskar is actually the impressions which are left on your mind based on your actions and fulfillment of desires. So all the kleshas, the five kleshas which are there, they are actually sanskaras only. Okay, so you build up sanskaras by the performance of your actions. So, for example, you go swimming, and now you enjoy swimming, and you do more and more of swimming till you are an expert, but all the time you enjoy swimming a lot. So that desire to do swimming and that desire to become good at it is actually a raga, and this is a sanskar. This raga sanskar for swimming is now there in your brain, so that impression is formed in your mind to perform swimming. Okay, so you're always looking to do swimming. So the sanskar is a desire only. So rag and dvesh are sanskaras only, while they are kleshas as well. But when they are towards something, when you have pointed them towards a particular activity, they become a sanskar in your mind. So rag and dvesh are concepts, but this now becomes an impression on your mind that I like swimming and I want to do swimming. So that desire now takes hold of your consciousness, I should say. So that is your sanskar. So yes, kama and sanskar, they are about the same thing. Your wish to do something is a sanskar.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
Uttaraji, so aren't we like two sides of the same coin? Like one leads to another. The
They are the
impression,
same thing. They are the same thing.
like the sanskar, will someday lead to whether it's embedded deep inside somewhere. It will lead to desire someday. It might ignite the desire, and then
It is the desire. That is what I'm trying to tell you. That desire only is the sanskar. So that impression which is formed when once you went swimming, you enjoyed it. That impression now is a desire. Now you want to that desire tag uh, which you attach with swimming is your sanskar now, which
I
is
see.
desire itself. So it is not two sides of the same coin. It is that same coin.
I see. Thank you. And also, when I read your Sankhya, there you had mentioned that enlight it's only after enlightenment that you can do nishkam karma, like you said right now also. But we generally hear that it's first you do nishkam karma to get to the path of, that enlightenment. So which one is that?
So I will tell you what I am telling you. So I don't agree with that. In fact, that is why I bring this out, that it's not possible to do Nishkam Karma till you have actually seen the soul, till you have glimpsed God. It's not possible to do Nishkam Karma. Karma will always be Sakama only. It's this is a misunderstanding and a misconception that you can do
Yeah,
Nishkam
it
Karma.
like lighted a bulb. It was like sounded very logical when I did that.
Yeah.
That unless you reach that high level, high state, you cannot do nishkam karma.
Yeah. You can reduce desires. So, virakti is the reduction of desires, which is what is being told again and again, that you have to reduce your desires. So, paryapta kamaha, when Angira is also saying, he that is basically saying that you must withdraw yourself from bhoga. So all sansaric bhoga, you must now start withdrawing yourself, not have any interest in those things. So that is there. That means a reduction in your bag of desires, which is there. You have to chip away, chip away, chip away, bring it down to a small level. And then that small level, the final cutting of all those desires will happen only when you achieve dharma mega samadhi.
Yeah, so because that also is a desire, right? To achieve that samadhi, that
So
desire.
that I told you, when you say desire, it is not talking of, well, it will depend on context. But whenever we are talking of desire here, we are talking of the thing which has, in which worldly desires are involved.
Only desire, right? See.
When you are talking of jnana, then that is not a desire in the desire sense. It is an ichha in the sense of wanting something, wanting to meet God. That is also a desire. But it is not a desire in terms of giving you a consequence. There is no phala attached to wanting to be with God. There is no phala in doing dhyana. So you have a real strong desire to sit in upasana and see God. That will not have a repercussion in terms of punya or pap. That is why it is not a desire in that sense.
No karmashay will be built.
Correct, correct.
Mm. Thank you.
So in the previous, sorry Uttaraji, it's I was
Go
just,
on, go on.
so in the previous shloka when they say akama, it is the not having any desire towards the bhoga, but only desire left is to see the Parabrahman and maybe the needs of the body, like whatever the food or whatever. Probably that's what we are talking about. And here when he says paryapta kama, is he talking about even that kama to see the Parabrahman is also fulfilled?
No, no. That in the first shloka, the akama is talking of paryapta kama only, where you have reduced your desires to a very, very small amount. And then in your next verse, in the second one, also that paryapta kama is the same. And that reduction, now they are saying sarve pravilyanti kama, sarve kama pravilyanti. That is when now, after you have seen God, that all the desires which were remaining of this paryapta kama or akama purusha, that is soul, are all dissolved, are all broken.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यो
नायमात्मा प्रवचनेन लभ्यो
न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन
न मेधया न बहुना श्रुतेन
यमेवैष वृणुते तेन लभ्यस्
येमेव वृणुते तेन लभ्यस्
तस्याश आत्मा विवृणुते तनु स्वाम्
तस्य
सत्येषात्मा
विवेचनं
स्वाम्.
So there is, I think, typo in this Mundakopanishad. In case you are studying from this book,
Mhm.
it's not. But if you are studying from Hare Krishna Das Goyanka ji's book, then there is a little typo there. It is not Tanum, but it should be Tanu. Tanu with a this thing on it, a Chandra Bindu on it. So this verse is also there in Kathopanishad in 1
Yeah, that is what I thought. The minute I saw this verse looked very similar.
yeah. It is the same. It is the same. And it's a beautiful verse. You can
Yeah.
include it in your Sandhya as well. So it says, Na ayam Atma. This soul, this Atma, that is God. Pravachanena labhyo. It is not available. It cannot be attained through pravachan, by giving sermons, by teaching anybody this vidya. Na medhaya, nor can it be achieved through the through intelligence. Na bahuna shrutena, nor by listening to a lot of sermons, or even by studying the Vedas a lot, or any of the Moksha Para Granthas, as we were seeing in Swadhyay. By studying all those, you cannot achieve the Lord. Yama eva esha vrinute tena labhyas. The one he selects, only to that person this will God be available. It is God who is going to determine who sees him. Nobody can like you get a PhD degree by studying. So it's kind of predetermined. If you have done well, then you can get a PhD degree. But there is no such line which when you cross, then you achieve him. It is he who determines that line, and he who will say that okay, now this person has put in enough effort and is now worthy of seeing me. Tasya esh atma vivrinute tanu swam. For that soul, the Lord exposes his own entity in great detail. Vivrinute, वर्णन करते हैं वो. He describes his own what he is. He presents it to that person in great detail. Okay. So now going back. Na ayam atma pravachanena labhyo. Firstly, let me repeat what I have been telling you, that the fact that he is saying that these things don't lead to him is again to be interpreted as something which will take you so far and no further. So it is not as if teaching will not help you to make progress in this subject, but it can only lead you so far and it cannot take you further. So that is why, in the ultimate analysis, it's as good as saying it doesn't take you there. Okay, but that does not mean you should not do it. You have to do it. So, this soul cannot be achieved by giving sermons, however many you may give. It cannot be achieved through intelligence. A lot of people think that you can rationalize and reach at God in some way, but the scientists are not reaching. Why? Because it is not available to the buddhi. So, you can keep analyzing and constructing and deconstructing everything, but you will never achieve through the mind. The mind stops short, falls short of ever reaching him. So it cannot be achieved through the intelligence, na bahuna shrutena, nor by listening to a lot of sermons can this thing be achieved. I should tell you one story about Swami Dayanand. So Swami Dayanand was giving a sermon in some sabha, and there was somebody in the audience who later became a great devotee of his. But at that time, he was an atheist, and he found that this saint is amazing. He gives a very scientific way of looking at things. He has a very rational outlook, and so to this atheist mind, it was very appealing compared to other um, upasaks who were there or preachers who were there. So he attended his started attending his lectures, and towards the end of one of them, he asked him that Swamiji, you have answered all my questions, but you have not given me faith. So then Swami Dayanand tells him that faith is something that is God's blessing. And that was a turning point in that person's career. So even faith is actually God's blessing. It's not everybody who can get faith. So you can listen to a lot of these things and never feel close to him. It is only when you actually sit in upasana that you will start feeling the little bit of difference, will start coming. And God is not as if he is standing with a whip hand or something like that. He is waiting for you to approach him. So he always gives more than you do. So please do upasana, please do meditation, and you will see the difference. Okay. This is most important. It is like that verse of Gita which tells you that you only have a right to karma. The phala is not in your scope. So same thing is true here. You can sit and worship God, but when he will be pleased, that only he knows. And that time when he is pleased, then he will overwhelm you with his presence. Okay. So now, after having told us what happens when your kamas dissolve, and then telling us something about what will not work, he further tells us about what shortcomings can be hurdles in our upasana. Nayamaatma balahineन labhyo
नायं
बलहीनेन लभ्यो
न च प्रमादात् तपसो वाप्यलिङ्गात्
न च
च प्रमादात् तपसो
प्रमादात्
वाप्यलिङ्गात्
एतैरुपायैर्यतते यस्तु विद्वांस्
एतैरुपायैर्यतते यस्तु विद्वांस्
तस्यैष आत्मा विशते ब्रह्मधाम
तस्य आत्मा विशते
विशते
धाम।
So he again tells us, "Na ayam atma balhinayena labhyah," that this atma, this paramatma, is not available to those who do not have strength. And strength here means your physical bodily strength. It does not refer to your mental strength because mental strength comes later. Nacha pramadat, nor is he available through pramad. Pramad means carelessness. That today you are on this path, but tomorrow you get attracted to something else and you go off elsewhere, and then you come back again, and then you flit somewhere else, and then you come back again. So if you do pramad in following this path, then also he is not available. Tapasaha va api alinga. This is very important actually. It says, or by tapa, which is a linga. Linga typically means sign. So a linga means without a sign. which translates to without a goal. So if you are doing tapa, which is without, which is meaningless tapa, like standing on one leg, or saying that I will stand in water for 1 month, or that I will not get out of bed for a month, any such tapa, any such hardship that you say that in trying to achieve God, I am going to not eat with my left hand for till God presents Himself to me. Something, you have heard of all these vows which people take. So all those tapas are meaningless. These are your tapa refers to your mental strength, and life gives you enough trials and tribulations. Your tapa is to make sure that you don't lose your balance during those times, either in too much happiness or in too much sorrow. You should remain equanimous. You should retain your equanimity. You should neither feel too happy nor too sorrowful. Always maintain a balance. That is what is tapa, and that is the tapa which is going to take you to the Lord. Any other kind of suffering which you impose on yourself is not something which God appreciates, and is going to um, give you some brownie points for that. एताः उपायाः यतते यह तु विद्वान, the wise person who uh, uh, perseveres with these um, solutions, with these instruments, with these what modes which are given above. I will tell you again. Tasya esha atma vishate dhama. That person's soul enters the Brahma Dhama, the abode of Brahma, of the Lord. So, which upayas, which are the solutions which he should follow? It has not been said till now. We are saying he is not attained by this, he is not attained by this. So, what is he attained by? So, Angira is saying these upayas only. Which upaya? Balahina. Don't be without physical strength. That is why yogis have to do yoga, as in the physical yoga as well, because you have to make sure that your body is strong enough, that you're not afflicted by disease. If you are afflicted by disease, you cannot perform your sadhana. So you have to make sure that you are a healthy person. Then pramada, that carefulness is anyway clear to you. If you do not follow the path with great um, perseverance, you're not going to achieve your goal. That is even true for our worldly goals. The more we focus on our worldly goal, the more likely we are to achieve it. If you want to be Serena Williams, you better play tennis day in, day out, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. Then tapaha alingat. That is also clear to you, I guess. I mean, a lot of people do have that. They rational thinking people can see that why should standing on one leg make any difference to achieving God? So that is true. Just doing meaningless suffering does not help. So therefore, you must attain bala, you must maintain focus, and your tapa must be directed towards this goal. Now here I wanted to actually show you what Patanjali has said. Again, he has told us in great detail, greater detail than this, that being a darshan shastra and being a higher, more detailed text than an Upanishad which gives in short. So this is the Sutra, in which he gives a whole lot of things which are problematic for the yogi, which he calls antaraya, which stop you, which are hurdles in your path. So he says vyadhi, any kind of illness, sthana. Sthyan is not focusing on your path, not being able to hold your attention somewhere. Then sanshay, when you have too many doubts in your path. See, you are yourself aware that if you have too many doubts, then you cannot stick to that path. So your first job is to make sure that you remove those doubts, and that is by doing swadhyaya. Somewhere along swadhyaya, even if you are looking in the wrong direction, when God sees that, okay, you are really struggling and you really want to find out the answer to a question, he will send that answer to you somehow. So Sanshaya is another thing which holds us back. Then Pramad, see, the same thing has been repeated here. Then Alasya is laziness. So if you are a lazy person also, then that path is closed for you. Avirati, that means you don't have enough vairagya. So virakti is most important. Then Bhranti Darshan. Bhranti Darshan is thinking, imagining things. So most
Hallucination, huh? Hallucination. Bhranti.
here it does not mean hallucination, though it could mean actually in a way, because like you see these Naga sadhus and all, they keep smoking bhang and ganja, whatever something they smoke. So they are sitting in that uh, hallucination and they think, yes, this is Swarga. Okay, so one is that, but even at a lower level, you know that a whole lot of these preachers these days tell you to imagine that the beautiful scene where the mountains and their waterfalls and their rivers, and then you feel so nice, and all your stress goes away. That Bhranti Darshan also is not a advisable thing for a true seeker. So a true seeker has to see the truth, and any imaginary thing is not advisable, will take you away from the path. So it might give a worldly person like us who is very stressed out, may give momentary relief, but that is not for the seeker. Alabdha bhumikatva. So when you are not able to hold your mind for any reasonable length of time, always your mind is flitting around here and there, that is alabdha bhumikatva. And anavasthitatva, that even when you have achieved dharana, to some extent you have managed to focus your mind, you are not able to retain that for any length of time. That is called anavasthitatva. So these are called chitta vikshepaha. Chitta vikshepa is the movement of the mind, not being able to rest at a place. They lead to, or they are themselves, chitta vikshepa. So for example, illness is a cause for chitta vikshep. You know that when you are not well, you cannot even read a storybook properly. uh, your mind is not even able to focus on that much. So for focusing on God, it is out of the question. Okay, so these
Then
are
I have a question.
Mhm.
Regarding this tapa, uh, in some book, and recently I met someone who practices dhyan. So he mentioned a very, or what I would say, unique thing about controlling Rasna Indriya. He said कि while doing meditation, if you want to achieve deeper levels of meditation, then this Rasna Indriya has to be controlled. So how to do it? He said कि you have to make your food tasteless, like avoid salt, avoid any other spices, and for the purpose of body, if you want to have salt, then just take a salt in your palm and then do gulp it like a churran, and don't mix it with vegetables or do. So is this a kind of an extreme tapa which is not giving a equanimity, or is it actually this kind of tapa which is Angira Rishi is saying?
I would not agree to that kind of a strategy. You have to take your senses inwards only. So when you sit for meditation, uh, you obviously should not be with a lollipop in your mouth. So you sit with focus all your energy inside. Take it inside. And the best thing is to first do pranayam, then you do some mantras, or you may prefer to do the mantras first and then do pranayam, because pranayam can be actually very, very powerful in focusing your mind. So you can take a mantra and then think over that, and then you will find that after pranayam you are able to really, really focus on it. And as you know, while doing your studies also, you would know that when you get involved in something very deeply, you're not aware of what is on your tongue, what is in your ears, what is on your skin. You are just
Yeah.
very, very focused on that. So that is the kind of state which you have to achieve. It doesn't matter what you are sitting on, it doesn't matter what is sitting on your tongue, it doesn't matter if somebody pressurizes you, if somebody pulls your shoulder also, you should not actually when you are in real dhyan, you shouldn't even notice that, because you are so deep inside. Just like when you are asleep and somebody has to really shake you up to wake you up, because small shakes are not taking you out of that situation in which you have retracted from your senses. So that is the kind of state. Initially, when we are not very good at dhyan, we should actually try and achieve that sleep state, like you achieve before going to sleep. All your thoughts are gone and you are kind of just, um, without thoughtless,
Blank.
like that.
Blank.
Yeah. So
So
I don't
here,
think you have to struggle too hard to in trying to do some things externally. That you sit on a soft bed and you don't take some water before, wash out your mouth or something like that. I mean, all those are good things to do, but in the ultimate analysis,
it was more from the perspective of daily living, like how the India needs to be controlled in terms of
so
rasna
that
indriya.
is definitely I would not recommend. I don't
Uh,
think you
I
have
also didn't find. I
you
find
have
it extreme. Just like one put hands like जैसे लोग खड़े हो जाते हैं हाथ पे
yes,
पैर पे.
exactly, exactly. That is what is being talked about over here as tapa, which is aling. It is that only. Don't make yourself suffer unnecessarily. Live life, start reducing your desires and reduce your needs. Just cut down, cut down, cut down, cut down. You will see the difference uh, begin to happen there only. And if you're able to continue that cutting down till you become a real seeker, nothing like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let us get into. Is there any other question?
Yeah. Sarah, you did say that, cut down your desires and cut down your needs. The moment the needs also comes down, automatically the desires comes down. I'll give our own experience and our own this feeling. Now we don't have much of a desire because we have quite a lot we have already enjoyed. Why we have to go through that again and all? So we have cut down buying things and all, and I don't want to accumulate any of the things at home. So,
Correct.
so automatically, as we grow old age, and it needs comes down and desires also comes down automatically. So only thing it has to be continued like that.
Yeah, that is, you have to bring it on earlier. Okay. So then I think, okay, let's get started with the next one. Okay. सम्प्राप्यनं ऋषयोजनान् तृप्ताः
सम्प्राप्येनं ऋषयो ज्ञानतृप्ताः
कृतात्मानो वीतरागाः प्रशान्ताः
कृतात्मानो वीतरागाः प्रशान्ताः
प्रशान्ताः
ते सर्वगं सर्वतः प्राप्य धीरा
ते
ते
सर्वं
सर्वं
सर्वतः प्राप्य
सर्वतः
धीरा
प्राप्य धीराः
युक्तात्मानः सर्वमेवाविशन्ति
युक्तात्मानः
युक्तात्मानः
सर्वमेवाविशन्ति
सर्वमेवाश्नुवन्ति Shanti.
So now we are told about what happens when we attain God. Samprapya enam, on achieving Him, on attaining the Lord. Rishayaha jnana triptaha, the sages, they become sated with knowledge. Kritatmana manaha, they become uh, kritya, that means whatever they were looking for, they have achieved their goal. That kind of a soul which was seeking the Lord, now it has got what it wanted, it has achieved its goal. Vitaraga, that means they become devoid of sorrow, devoid of attachment actually. With raga, as I told you, is attachment. So they become devoid of attachment. This is what I was telling you earlier also, that you will have some attachment left till the time that you see the Lord. When you see the Lord, your last attachment will go away, your last desire will go away. Prashant. So, like we have Prashanti here, you will become Prashant, very, very Shant. On that person's face, you will see peace which you cannot find in worldly people. Because we worldly people are attached to things, so if something happens to those things, then we are worried. If we do not get our desire fulfilled, then we are unhappy. So happiness, sorrow, all this keeps fleeting on our faces. But with this person, it's an equanimity which is imperturbable. That person retains that equanimity at all times. Te sarvagam sarvatah prapya dhiraha, te dhiraha, those steadfast people who have stuck onto this path with great focus, yuktatmanaha, they have performed yoga to the extreme, that Ashtang Yoga which we looked at, they have done it down to the last letter. Uh, they then achieve the Sarvagam, the Lord who is there everywhere, who is omnipresent. Sarvataha, in all ways. So they achieve the Lord fully. But this fully you have to take with a pinch of salt, because when the soul itself is limited, it cannot achieve an unlimited object. So, God being unlimited, we will always see only partially what God is like, but that partial thing is more than enough for us, more than we can handle, in fact. So, it is like everything for us. Sarvameva avishanti, when we see the Lord, then we enter that Sarva only. Sarva is again God, the name for God here. Just like we were seeing Satya, so also Sarva here refers to God, because basically everything amounts to Him only. Everything is Him only. He is there in everything, and nothing is there without Him. So it is Sarvameva. So then we enter Him. Now, by this entering, you should not think again in terms of the Advaitvad, that you become Him. No, you enter the Brahma Dham, as was said in the previous shloka, that now you are in His domain. You leave this worldly domain with all matter whirling around and presenting objects of interest to you. Now you will be beyond all that. This world will not matter anymore. Okay, we will look at this more next time. I will done with the first round. And anyway, if you have questions, you are most welcome. Okay. ॐ या ते रुद्र शिवा तनूर्
ॐ याते रुद्र शिवा तनु
अघोरा पापकाशिनी
अघोरा पापकाशिनी
दयानस्तन्वा शन्तमया
तया भाषन्तमया
विशन्ताभिचाकशीः
गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Om Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you, Uttara.
Namaste, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Uttaraji.
Thank you, Uttaraji.